Hello, everybody. Jason Schultz here with USA Mortgage. Jason Holdinsky over there. Oh, that's I always do that wrong.
Over here.
They're over there.
Over there. Yeah.
With eXp Realty, Absolute Lake, Michigan. We do a weekly, kind of just get together weekly and we chat for a few minutes about real estate, about mortgage, about community events, what's going on. And it's Thanksgiving week. Typically this week's kind of quiet, Jason, in the past, but it's been very active. We had 5 new apps come in over the weekend and getting people pre-approved, and maybe people are going to be looking at some houses over the holiday weekend. So.
I think they are. It's definitely a strong period of time to finish out 2022. I know some agents, they're like, oh, I've had such a long and fast year that I'm taking this from now until Christmas off. I'm like, I wish I could. But
no, that's more business for you than Holdinsky. That's how
that's right. And I'm not opposed to that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everything's been good. I know we missed last week. I was in Vegas and San Diego, and I know you had some events
in Florida.
Yeah,
you were in Florida for our. We have a rewards trip that we got to go on, so it was pretty awesome down there.
Cool. A big gathering from everybody from USA Mortgage.
Yeah, well, it was our President's Club. So the top, think 25 LOs based upon our 2020 numbers. They took us on a trip and kind of I think it was 3 or 4 nights. It was really nice.
Well, that's awesome. Where was it at?
At Palm Beach at the Four Seasons. So
I love Palm Beach.
Yeah, that's a different zip code. I couldn't afford to live down there though. So
yeah, well, when you got back into Wisconsin, how was that weather change? Were you
actually it wasn't as bad. It was bad, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So it was It's really nice the day we came home, but it was 70s and 80s down there when we were down there the whole time.
Yeah, when I was at EXP Con last week, I got off the plane here, and I got off at like 9:30 at night, and it was like 19 or 21 degrees out. So, yeah, it was a little bit of a change for me. You got the pooch.
Yeah, Mackenzie's taking him out, so we think he's all wound up this morning. So.
Cool. Thought he just wanted his morning biscuit.
He's excited. He's excited. Got a little energy to burn off. So
cool.
This type of year, Jason, when I talk to buyers, typically you don't move in the winter unless you have to. That's kind of always been the past thing. But with rates still lower, they are going up, and I don't want people to freak out. But if they go up a full point or a half a point, it could affect your pre-approval. It really could be like, you may not qualify for as much house or different things like that. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. In terms of rates right now, I know they fluctuate daily. But what are you seeing? What's kind of today's middle line?
Well, it's really hard for me to ever just give a solid rate quote, because if your credit score is 590, your rate's gonna be in the 4s. If your credit score, 640. To 680, it might be in the mid 3s. You know what I mean? So I would say, we're still seeing a lot of stuff in the 3s, low 3s, based upon the strength of your file. It's not like we can't go out. We're not going to charge you 8% or something like that. But like with an FHA loan with a credit score below 620, we don't have as many investors that want that business, if you will. But we do have a few. But your interest rate might be 4.5% on something like that in that scenario. But if you have a 20% down payment, or if you're using like a USGA 0-down loan, those rates are still going to be really strong. Because like a USGA loan, everybody thinks it's easy to qualify for 0-down stuff. It's actually harder to qualify for 0-down stuff, because you got to have better credit. You got to have some, less debt, different things like that to qualify. So it's really hard to give you that number. But I would say, we're seeing mid to low 3s on a 30-year fixed right now, Jason. Pretty average across the board. So.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that, people, with accepted offers and whatnot, when our team will submit it and, we have a VA loan to present.
Yep.
A lot of people jump to the conclusion that a VA loan is not a good loan just because, there are people that are buying cash, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the VA loan's a bad loan at all.
VA loans are amazing.
Yeah.
For the client themselves, the only time that a conventional loan is better than a VA loan is if you have 20% down. If you don't have 20% down, I always really highly suggest a VA loan if you can qualify for a VA loan. Obviously, you have to be a veteran and you have to have enough points to qualify for your VA loan, but you do not have mortgage insurance on that. And that's always the benefit of putting 20% down, is to get out of mortgage insurance. But government loans kind of have a bad name. And what a government loan is, a VA loan, a USGA loan, an FHA loan, a WIDA loan, because they're a little pickier on the condition of the house. And here's why. We don't want the house back. We don't want to get you into a situation where you buy a fixer upper, but you have no money.
Right.
Because if it's December and the furnace quits, you don't have $8,000 for a new furnace, you're going to walk away. And now we have a foreclosure situation. So
Totally.
that's why sometimes a listing agent and not every house is meant. I mean, if it's a rougher home, you won't be able to buy it with the FHA or VA or USG. You need to find a house that's move-in ready, that has good bones, has good mechanicals, and it's not going to cost you $30,000. It's a great way for people to get into a house for the first time.
Okay. So having said that, two things kind of popped up in my mind. So in the event, let's say that there is some sort of repairs, okay, do you find that a lot of buyers representatives working with their clients will build in that cost of repair into the loan as a kind of a requirement to repair prior to closing?
It has to appraise, Jason. That's the next thing. If you built it, and let's say the offer price is 140, or you list it for 140, and my clients come and offer 145 because it might need some windows or something like that. If the appraiser comes out and says this house needs windows, but it won't still be worth the 145, that's kind of where the rubber meets the road on stuff like that. The biggest things I see are just peeling paint, honestly, because that's a health and safety issue with any of the loan programs. And I've had buyers say, hey, we'll just go out and take care of it before we close or something like that. And so I think like if agents have if we have our seller's agent and our buyer's agent that really talk through these things, but with less listings out there, and we have so many pre-approved borrowers.
Yeah.
That's where in the past, I feel like unless we have good agents talking to each other and really explaining to the seller that, hey, this is a solid loan program and there's nothing wrong with your home. There's no peeling paint. The roof is good. There's handrails down the stairs. And if that FHA loan is the best one, I think that's the way to do it. So
yeah, totally. One other thing, in terms of kind of getting the high point of your loan approved with a lender.
Yep.
I have a situation. I'm listing a home next week, and the revenue that's come in from the short-term rental was about, let's call it $40,000 for 2021 already.
Okay.
The year's not over, so there might be people that book for Thanksgiving or for Christmas or whatever it may be that might add that up. But when somebody's in the scenario of, I want to buy a second home, and you have the rental history, does that accumulate for a better type of loan on your behalf?
So with a second home, it always has to be conventional.
Okay.
All those other loan programs I've talked about, for primary residences only, it has to be conventional. And then I'm pretty sure, and I'd have to look up the guidelines on this, because we do a couple investments a month, investment homes for people or vacation homes. But in this situation, I think if we have a 12-month history of it, we can use 75% of that 40,000, Jason, as income that can be applied towards that debt to income ratio on that house.
Right. And these are the things that I want to educate my clients with. When we have a buyer that comes from Chicago or Milwaukee and they're looking at this waterfront home, those are the things that I want to educate, our resources and all of our clients that we're working with. I want them to be within, kind of the know, into the current times with the scenarios that we could kind of like unravel.
No, and that's why I love talking to people, because I've never met one story. Because, hey, Jason, my agent told me to call you. They said you're a really good lender, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm awesome. Then we laugh a little bit, and they're like, I have a special situation. No, we all do. Okay. Yeah. So just tell me the story. Let me figure it out, and then our team will jump on it, and we'll find out the best solution for you. But that's all the shows, all the internet, everything saying go buy in real estate. That's the key. That's the key. That's the key, and that's helped that. Now, obviously, the lower interest rates have driven more traffic towards that. So everybody thinks they need to have a second home now, or investment property, or rental, and no, it absolutely is a great investment, but you have to have at least 15% down on an investment home. If it truly is a vacation home, it's 10% down. But you can't buy a home on the other side of town and call it a vacation home to get to 10%. The underwriter goes, Oh, okay. So you're going to just go there on the weekends and then come back over here. So
Yeah.
it's pretty clear on that. But like the Airbnb market, the FSBO market, that's all, or not the FSBO market. I was stupid. I'm sorry. The Airbnb, the VRBO.
VRBO.
That's a very that's taken over. I mean, if I was a hotel, I mean, when we go to South, we always try to grab an Airbnb because it's typically cheaper. So
yeah, that's what I typically do too. This past weekend we found a Airbnb just below Mackinac City, and it was like $250, but it was an hour longer than we wanted to drive for the day, so I didn't end up getting it. But yeah, that was the first place that I went, and they didn't want Baxter to come with us, our little pup, so they didn't allow pets, so we just opted for a suite up in St. Ignace. But yeah, I always look Airbnb first, and I know that people like you and the majority do as well now.
Well, just the big thing is just, if you have a situation that you want to talk about, please just call me and then I'll figure it out for you. And then if I don't have an option for you, when I first got into business, Jason, I've been in the business 5 years now. Those first couple of years, every other lender is your enemy and they're trying to steal your business. And I think realtors have that same at time. If we all just work together and share value, if I can't help you, I'll find somebody who will. And
that's for sure.
Feel like that's really how I've grown my business, is just being honest with people. Like, hey, I'm probably not the right fit for you based upon your situation, but I have somebody who can.
That's right.
A lot of times though, you have to kind of, if you're in a really tough situation and there's 100 different options you could go, sometimes you got to bite the bullet and maybe go to that special lender, that credit union that deals with that. You might have to pay a higher interest rate for 6 months or a year, but you get your ducks in a row, you keep your house or you get that house bought. Then you can come back to me, refinance you and get you into that good 30-year fixed rate that you're looking for with no prepayment penalties, stuff like that.
For sure.
So
cool.
Not really good.
Yeah. It's that's it. You got to find out what scenario works best for you at that moment in time. And every loan may be a little bit different, but when you break it down, these are the little things that matter so much. Hey, Devin, how's it going?
Devin's one of my buddies. So he follows me on the old Facebook there. We're live on like 6 different Facebook pages right now on YouTube. That's what all of our lives are. So
cool.
Well, I got to get on I got to jump on another call, but I wanted to check in with you. Let's just kind of keep our Tuesday morning going. I feel like you and I always, I'll call you in a second. I'm on.
I know. Yeah. It's well, after Thanksgiving, I will I'm going to have a little bit more poundage on the face, I'm sure, because I'm going to have probably 3 or 4 plates on Thursday, and then we'll resume on Tuesday for sure.
Yep. So everybody have a great Thanksgiving. If you see a house that you like, if you click the Zillow button, your phone's going to blow up even on Thanksgiving. If you see a house you like, just call Jason and he can show you any property, any real. Your realtor can show you any listing. If you click on the Zillow button,
yes, and then by the way, Jason has links for pre-approval. They are embedded in our website as well.
Yep.
So you can reach out to Jason directly or go to absolutelakemichigan.com, and that'll initiate the process if you kind of want to get some paperwork done and really get things streamlined with Jason.
And real quick, Jason, before I let you go, Jason, this spring, the spring market's typically when we see a lot of activity again. A lot of it is driven by tax returns. A lot of it is driven by the nicer weather. A lot of leases are up in the spring. If you think you want to buy this spring, call. I prefer if you call me, but obviously not everybody's a call. But call your lender and just say, hey, how am I looking? They can run some rough scenarios for you, and we can pull your credit for like 2 to 4 points. It's not like when you go buy a car and they pull your credit 10 times in that one day to find you the best rate. Then your credit score drops like 20 points.
So annoying.
It doesn't drop like that. So in real life, the simulators are going to show, oh, you had a hard hit and now you're dead and you can never buy anything ever again. Right. That's not real. But I guess I want you to know that you're going to be able to buy this spring, or what you're going to need to do to be able to buy this spring. I just see too many times where they wait until the spring and I just found the perfect house. I have to have an offer in by noon and it's 9:00 on a Saturday morning. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll work on it. Get that application filled out. And like, oh man, did you know you had a judgment from a cable company from college?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, but I'm like, I just got to get taken care of. Oh, okay, I'll take care of it. But I mean, just little things like that.
That's right. You got to make sure that your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed.
Yep.
That's it.
Okay, stud. Happy Thanksgiving.
Cool. You too, Jason. Take care, everybody. Have a great week.
Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching. See you, bud.
Bye.